This paralegal went from 8 clients to 34 in 6 months. No employees, no outsourcing, not one extra hour of work. But before any of that happened, he nearly destroyed his career with a single missed deadline. His name is Marcus Phillip, and the email that almost ended everything was just 2 sentences long. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see the exact AI system he built, piece by piece, and why his clients say his work actually got better after he automated most of his business. Here's the thing. Nobody tells you about working for yourself. You don't burn out from the work you love. You burn out from everything wrapped around it. The emails, the scheduling, the chasing of signatures, the shadow work. Marcus was drowning in it. 80-hour weeks. And the scary part? He had 2 options, and only 2. Keep grinding until a malpractice error ended his career for good. Or automate everything except his own judgment. He chose option 2. Here's how it went. Part 1. The problem. Let me paint you a picture of Marcus's typical morning before the transformation. It didn't start with legal research. It didn't start with strategy. It started with what he called the inbox lottery. A potential client calls. Marcus spends 40 minutes on the phone, taking careful notes, listening to their whole story. 40 unbillable minutes. And then, 30 minutes in, the person mentions where they live. Wrong state. Outside his jurisdiction. 40 minutes. Gone. Unrecoverable. Unpaid. And that was just the warm-up. Next came the spreadsheet, manually typing in contact details, 1 field at a time. Then the engagement letters, copied from a stale template. Then chasing signatures. Then chasing retainer payments. By 5 o'clock, Marcus didn't feel like a legal professional. He felt like a data entry clerk who was somehow paying for the privilege of working. Some nights he'd sit in his car in the driveway, engine off, too drained to walk into his own house. He'd chosen independence. He loved being his own boss. But the way he'd built his business, it was designed to break him. He just didn't know it yet. Part 2. The crisis. Then came the week everything collapsed. 3 court deadlines. Same week. All converging at once. Picture this. Marcus, sitting on his office floor at 11 at night, surrounded by printed exhibits and colored highlighters. Paper everywhere, and one terrifying thought looping in his head. Did I send that disclosure document to opposing counsel? Or did I just think about sending it? He couldn't remember. There was simply too much to hold in one human brain, and that's when it happened. He missed a filing deadline. A procedural filing for one of his longest-standing clients. Now, the court was lenient. They accepted the late submission. But the client? The client sent an email. 2 sentences. Cold, clinical. Why are we paying premium rates for an unorganized professional? That message hit Marcus harder than any fine ever could. Because for the first time, the chaos behind the scenes had bled through. His clients could see it now, and he realized something brutal that night. He wasn't running a practice. He was the bottleneck, the single point of failure in his own company. And if he didn't separate his revenue from his physical hours, and fast, the demand he'd worked so hard to build was going to crush him. Part 3. The experiment. So Marcus stopped shopping for a digital assistant, and he started thinking like an engineer. He sat down and audited his entire business, and what he found shocked him. 80% of his day, 80%, was just moving data from one format to another. Phone call to notes, notes to spreadsheet, spreadsheet to template. Now, his first attempt at fixing this, total failure. And I want to be honest about that, because this is where most people quit. He built a static online intake form. 20 rigid questions. Clients hated it. It felt like a DMV form. And worse, Marcus still had to read and analyze every single submission himself. He'd automated nothing. He just moved the problem. But the failure taught him something. The intake didn't need to be a form. It needed to be a conversation. So he spent 2 weeks wiring a large language model into his intake flow. Now when a prospect described their situation, the AI analyzed it in real time. Wrongful termination case from a state where Marcus doesn't practice. The system politely explained the jurisdictional mismatch, linked them to their local bar association, and filtered the lead out automatically. Marcus never even saw the notification. And then came the morning that changed his perspective forever. He woke up to one alert, new qualified lead, with a complete summary attached. The system had done the first hour of his workday while he was asleep. That's when it clicked. This wasn't a faster typewriter. It was a filter for his focus. Part 4. The Pivot. Here's where it gets interesting. Because one automated tool is a convenience, but Marcus did something most people never do. He connected them into a single operating system. First, document drafting. Instead of staring at a blank page, he fed case facts into a secure, locally hosted model trained on his own past filings. His wins, his voice, his structure. Seconds later, a first draft of a motion, 70% complete. All it needed was his review and his judgment, the parts that actually require a human. Second, deadlines. He built an automated monitor that scanned court dockets and his inbox, pulled out every critical date, and dropped them onto a priority-ranked dashboard. No more highlighters on the office floor. Third, client communication. Routine status questions, the ones that used to eat his entire afternoon, now went to an automated portal that answered instantly, based on real-time file progress. And then came the moment Marcus says he'll never forget. It's a Tuesday, 3 in the afternoon. He's at the grocery store on a weekday, and his phone buzzes. It's a client saying, "Thank you." For an instant case update they'd just received through the portal, Marcus stood there in the cereal aisle and realized he wasn't behind anymore. He was days ahead. And here's the twist. His clients felt more attended to, even though he was spending less time talking to them directly. Because answers in seconds beat answers in days. Every time. Part 5. The result. So let's talk numbers. 8 clients to 34. 6 months. 0 employees. Gross revenue. Quadrupled. But honestly, the numbers aren't even the best part. The best part is what his Tuesday looks like now. He starts the morning with a 1-page intelligence brief his system generated overnight. Everything that happened in the back office, summarized, with just the 3 tasks that genuinely need a human flagged at the top. Then, deep work, legal strategy, complex analysis, the work he actually trained for. No inbox panic, no paper on the floor, no sitting in the driveway too exhausted to go inside. Scheduling, intake, data entry, it all just runs flawlessly. In the background, Marcus isn't a professional reacting to an overflowing inbox anymore. He's an operator directing a system. Same person, same skills, completely different business. Part 6. The lessons. So what do we take from Marcus's story? 3 things. 1. A solo practice is no longer limited by the capacity of a single human being. It's limited by the quality of the system that human designs. Marcus didn't go from 8 to 34 clients through endurance. He did it through architecture. 2. Your first automation will probably fail. Remember the rigid intake form. The failure isn't the end, it's the tuition. Marcus's breakthrough came directly from understanding why version 1 flopped. And 3. This is the big one. Your real value was never the data entry. It was never the scheduling, the formatting, the chasing. Your value is your judgment, your final call. Everything else in your business, everything else is a candidate for the machine. If you're stuck at a revenue ceiling right now, the answer is not to work harder. You've already proven you can work hard. The answer is to build the infrastructure that lets your judgment scale. Now I want to hear from you. What's the one repetitive task that's eating your week right now? The thing you'd automate tomorrow if you could? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and your answer might become a future video. And if you want to follow along as we document exactly how professionals are rebuilding their businesses for the AI era, hit subscribe. It's free, and it takes 1 second.